Hello everyone, this is the second in this little short series of videos talking about our service plan and what moving Dorset ahead means to me. So today I'm looking at the first of those subheadings, which is healthy, and I'm going to talk about how that impacts what we do both internally within Dorset Council and also externally for wider part of Dorset. So first of all, let's talk internally about how we are healthy and particularly how the service plan is related to that. So one of the first things I think which is completely unacceptable is the issues that our civil enforcement officers face. So on an almost daily basis, they face physical injury and also verbal abuse, and both of those are completely unacceptable. So what have we done to target that? Well, we started off by being reactive. So we put in place a system where everyone now has the opportunity to wear a body camera. And that really is paying dividends. That's actually been used in some cases in court to make sure we can make sure that there are convictions against people who act inappropriately towards our staff. But it's not enough for me. Being reactive is actually too late. We need to work to see how we can change behaviour in the first instance and make sure that the way that people interact with and talk to our civil enforcement officers is better. Separately to that, but also in a similar vein, our road workers, they also face verbal abuse on a daily basis and also in extreme cases, physical abuse. So there we've put in place more CCTV cameras, particularly on our road closures. We've now got the airlock system where we have a CCTV camera right at the front place where the gate person is. And we found that actually deters a lot of people from acting or behaving poorly towards our members of staff. But I certainly recognise there is more we can do in this area, and there is certainly more to do. So that's a little bit about physical health. Probably, I think more importantly to me is mental health, and also what we've done with that over the last year to see how we can improve people's mental health. And it's an improvement, but it's certainly by no means where I want to ultimately be. So when we're looking at mental health and what we've done, we now as a service have more mental health first aiders or champions than any other service in Dorset Council. So I'm really proud about that. But again, that is being reactive. What we need to do more of is making sure we stop having instances where I'll term it a mental health injury. We need to stop these injuries occurring in the first instance. And that does go back to our culture. It ties into our corporate view of wanting to be an employer of choice. And to me, I think I have to recognise that we don't have enough people to do all the things we want to in the time we want to. And that certainly does lead to an element of pressure. And we probably need to have pressure in everything we do, and there's always going to be timelines into what we need to deliver. But we need to make sure that amount of pressure doesn't turn into stress. And like I say, there's more we've got to do in terms of that. Looking externally, so the wider part of Dorset, how we work with our customers, there's lots of things we can cover, but I'll just highlight two here. So one is the work of our road safety team. The main priority of that team is reducing the number of incidents which take place on our or incidents or injuries which take place on our highway network. But I'll also look wider than that, and I think talk very briefly about our active travel approach. And by active travel, I'm meaning how we're giving people more opportunities to walk or cycle instead of traditionally taking the car. A lot of investment in that has taken place over the last year, and we are already seeing that more people are feeling that they're confident to actually go out and ride a bike or walk on some of the new footways and cycleways that we've made, when previously they just thought it was too dangerous or it wasn't appealing enough. So we're actually starting to get a real change in people's behaviours, where they genuinely think, in some cases, it's actually quicker to walk and cycle. They recognise it's better for them, but also the opportunity is now there, and that's a big step forward we've taken in the last year. So whatever you do within highways, some part of your role is going to be contributing towards people's health and well-being. So I'd like to thank all of you for everything you're doing in terms of that, and thank you also for everything you're doing in terms of moving Dorset ahead.